Hello, my name is Tanya Ott. I'm currently a student at University of Arizona South, and this is my presentation on interactive whiteboards and student response systems. I'll be discussing what they are, different brands and variations of the technology, as well as some benefits and uses in the classroom. So what is an interactive whiteboard? An interactive whiteboard, or IWB for short, is a device that displays contents and offers interactive functions. The board can be considered an extension of your computer, as it connects to your computer and displays the image via a projector onto the board. Once it's connected to your computer, you can access anything from your computer through the interactive whiteboard. Interactive whiteboards are usually touchscreen, or they could be navigated with the use of a wireless remote as well. They are also usually mounted to a wall or a floor stand, as you can see in the pictures provided. One really neat function of interactive whiteboards is the ability to save any notes, lessons, drawings, etc. that were created on the board for later use. Although interactive whiteboards were created around 1990 for use in the office, they are an excellent resource for teachers and students as well. They're extremely beneficial in the classroom. Some of these benefits of interactive whiteboards are as follows. The ability to save notes. Teachers can use the interactive whiteboard just as they would a normal whiteboard, with one great advantage: the ability to save what they've written on the board. Also, the ability to easily integrate media into the lesson. With the use of an interactive whiteboard, with just a click of a button, you can enrich your lesson with many different media types, such as videos, music, pictures, etc. It's no longer a hassle to provide these additional resources for students to learn. Furthermore, another benefit is the ability to create interactive games and activities for students. With the use of an interactive whiteboard, teachers have the ability to create these different methods of learning for their students. It's a way to engage them and introduce the material in a way that this generation is accustomed to. It provides that additional stimulation that many students need. Of course, these are just a few of the many benefits of having an interactive whiteboard in the classroom. Once teachers and students are comfortable with the use of the technology in the class, teachers can then allow students to create their own activities and games to then share with their peers. Those who have access to an interactive whiteboard in their class should take full advantage of having such a creative and resourceful tool. As with any technology, there are many brands and variations of interactive whiteboards. They are commonly referred to as smartboards, which is just a brand name. Some other common brand names include ActiveBoard, Mimeo, and Polyvision. These are just a few of many. Some other devices exist that have the same idea in mind, such as interactive flat panels and interactive projectors. If you look at the graph displayed, it shows the number of sales for each of these interactive devices. So how can interactive whiteboards be used to support learning? Of course, there are multiple ways that interactive whiteboards can be used to support learning. The use of interactive whiteboards in the classroom promotes a creative form of instruction and motivates the students to be engaged in the lesson. They provide a convenient way for teachers to accommodate different learning styles and different forms of media to enhance the lesson. For example, let's say that in science class the students are learning about the nervous system. The instructor can use the interactive whiteboard to introduce the subject, let's say with a short video about the nervous system. The teacher then can conveniently display some additional pictures and diagrams as additional visuals for the students. Then to sum it up, the instructor can use a picture or a worksheet showing the nervous system and have the students then label the different parts of the nervous system. And what's really awesome, the teacher can at that point either save or print out the diagram or worksheet that the students had completed and labeled to use as perhaps a study guide for an upcoming quiz. The use of interactive whiteboards in the classroom is a huge advantage to both teachers and students. Now on to student response systems, or SRS for short. Student response systems are used to allow educators a quick and convenient way to assess student understanding of learning material. An educator can ask a question and the students respond via a clicker or handheld device. The answers submitted are almost immediately configured into a graph for ease of viewing, and they allow the teacher to quickly decide whether they need to spend more time on the learning material, go over it in more detail, or if it's okay to move on. Furthermore, they allow for the students to compare their answers or understandings with those of their peers, which encourages student interaction. Student response systems are basically a quick, efficient, and convenient way to gather information from a group to check their understanding. Of course, there are many benefits to using a student response system in the classroom, some of which are as follows. They allow students to be anonymous. Students no longer have to fear answering the questions incorrectly. Their answers are anonymous. This allows for those who are afraid of being wrong to readily participate with no apprehension. It allows that shy student who wouldn't usually raise their hand to answer a question to easily participate. Also, it allows the teacher to quickly assess student understanding of material. With the use of this system, the answers are almost immediately recorded, giving the teacher the opportunity to determine whether they should spend more time on a subject or if they can move on, which leads me to the next benefit, instant feedback. The student response system will automatically record the responses and almost immediately show the results. And finally, the teacher has the ability to track student participation. The instructor is able to hold students accountable for class participation. These are just a few of the many benefits of utilizing a student response system in the classroom. As with all technology, there are many different brands of student response systems available. Some include eBeam, iRespond, Quizdom. There are other programs that do exist that have the same idea in mind. These can be accessed through the use of a cell phone, an iPad, etc. If schools go about it this way, it prevents the need to purchase the handheld devices as well as any other components that go along with using a student response system. Some of these programs and their characteristics are described in the chart provided. So how can student response systems be used to support learning? Well, there are many ways that student response systems support learning. First, they help the teacher as well as the students to monitor understanding of the content. It provides the opportunity to reflect upon the lecture and determine if there are any questions or misunderstandings. What's really awesome is that the results are instant. The answers submitted are instantly available for the teacher and students to view. Also, it keeps students engaged. Today's society is very involved with technology. Introducing technology into the classroom is very appealing to students. Many students need that additional stimulation in which technology can provide. Furthermore, it promotes peer interactions and support. Student response systems are an excellent advantage for the teacher and the students. Both the interactive whiteboards and the student response systems are extremely beneficial to the teachers and the students. After all, today's generation is very involved in technology, so it's appealing to bring that technology into the classroom and take advantage of being able to provide a new method of instruction. The use of technology in the classroom is convenient, it promotes student engagement and participation, and it's creative. We should take full advantage of the technology advances and provide our students with different methods of instruction. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed it.